Good morning, USA, and welcome to another episode of the Bernie or Bust Show. I must apologize for shaving and bathing today because I had to get in the shower ahead of my son, Ethan, but we'll carry on. We still have coffee, so we're good to go. I just wrote a new article, What the DNC Does Not Want You to Find Out About Elizabeth Warren. 3-minute read, so I'll link to this. You can read it yourself. It will be a more than a 3-minute read if you read all of the supporting information. Number one, Elizabeth Warren secured an endorsement from the supposedly far-left Working Families Party after Demos, the think tank her daughter chairs, donated $45,000. Just click on this and you'll see how the vote was rigged also for the voting party's Working Families Party. Warren and Clinton have been talking behind the scenes as the 2020 race intensifies. Kyle Kulinski has a good clip on that you should watch in its entirety. Elizabeth Warren was in favor of increased defense spending until 2019. And you can see how she's voted for a massive increase of the war budget. She's taken money from Wall Street and large corporations until 2019, until now. Her Wall Street money machine, this is a National Review article, how Elizabeth Warren raised big money before she denounced big money, New York Times article. She supported and voted for Republican Ben Carson as Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Warren's daughter is co-founder of Health Allies, now part of United Health Group, and this helps explain the waffling on single-payer Medicare for all. As lawyer, Elizabeth Warren worked to limit Dow Chemical's liability to breast implant victims. A couple of good articles on that. Elizabeth Warren defends Israeli shelling of Gaza schools and hospitals because they had missile launchers next to them, to be fair, but that's still not fair to schools and hospitals and a violation of United Nations policy. She was a Republican until she was 47. If you would like to get embroiled in the Susan Sarandon brouhaha, there are plenty of places I can point you to, but briefly, Susan isn't the only one noticing this. Elizabeth Warren declares war on lobbying and hires a lobbyist one day later. That's a Yahoo News article. Kyle Kulinski again. This clip gives clear and simple reasons to vote Bernie over Warren. This is not a Google search. This is a DuckDuckGo search. You should look into replacing your search engine with DuckDuckGo because it doesn't trace your steps on the internet the way Google does. And it's kind of the print is a little too small to see, but if you click on the article that I'm going to link, you can do your own search, of course, and you can see all of these interesting articles by National Review. Elizabeth Warren's plans are terrible. Elizabeth Warren's corporatism. Elizabeth Warren's Ferguson lie. Elizabeth Warren's limitless ideology. The media fell for Elizabeth Warren's spin. Elizabeth Warren's wealth tax trap. Elizabeth Warren is a fraud. Elizabeth Warren's bad student debt plan. Elizabeth Warren's student loan plan. Weighing the costs. Elizabeth Warren progressive fraud. So you get the idea. Just do a search for National Review and then put Elizabeth Warren and you'll get a similar list. Additional talking points. Her voting record and stated goals for foreign policy align closely with Hillary Rodham Clinton. She plans to pivot in the general after she hoodwinks the true progressives in the primaries. She intends to take corporate money, including dark money, in the general election. She voted for Trump's military budget increases more than once. She says she's open to a middle ground approach in regards to universal health care. She's not an existential threat to health care insurance companies. She applauded Trump for saying America will never be a socialist nation. People have been talking about that she knew that he meant progressive nation. You can decide that for yourself. She endorsed Hillary over Bernie in 2016. I could have put that at the very top of the list. She could have endorsed him early in the race instead of waiting until it was clear that Bernie wasn't going to win after the race was rigged against him. She later admitted that the race was rigged, but has since been walking that back. AOC, if you're watching the show, not likely, but if you are, this is what we don't want from you. Now is the time to wade in and not be like Elizabeth Warren. All right, so hope this Friday is looking good to you, and hope to see you tomorrow. Keep on burning.